So brothers and sisters, here we see that the Jews had 70 weeks or 490 years to make an end of sin, to make reconciliation for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal up the prophecy. In other words, saints, the 2300-day prophecy could have ended with the Jewish nation. They could have sealed it up. Are you with me, saints? Had they obeyed and done what God says do, that prophecy would have come to an end and they would have remained as God's chosen people. Are you with me, brothers and sisters? But how would it have been? They had to make an end of sin. They had to make reconciliation for iniquity. Bring in what kind of righteousness? Everlasting righteousness, brothers and sisters. The Jews failed. As a matter of fact, when Jesus came on the scene in 27 AD, Ellen G. White tells us that the Jewish nation, the people whom God had chosen to be his representatives, had become the representatives of Satan. She says that they were doing the work that Satan desired them to do, that he had chained them to his cars. She says he had taken control of their organs and was using them in the violence of lust. She says the situation was so bad that Satan hoped that God would just give up on him and recall Jesus and bring him on back to heaven. She says, had God done that, then Satan then would have taken his rebellion throughout the whole universe. Because if God had recalled Jesus, that would have been acceding to his demands. That would have been acceding to his claims. See, I told you nobody can overcome sin. Nobody can keep you alone. And today, brothers and sisters, Satan has so messed up this world. He's saying, now how are you going to fix this? He have men being born in men's bodies, but women on the inside. Women that are born looking like women, but are men on the inside. He said, how are you going to fix this, God? You a loving God? Fix this one. Look at what he has done to us as a people. Look how far we have gone from the counsel God has given us. He said, how are you going to fix this? Are you with me, brothers and sisters? And that's what we are again. I said, how are you going to fix this? Watch this thing, brothers and sisters. 27 AD, 31 AD, 34 AD. 7 weeks of determined upon thy people, they had to finish the transgression, make an end of sin, make a reconciliation for iniquity, bring in everlasting righteousness, seal the division of prophecy, and anoint the most holy. 34 AD. Brothers and sisters, 34 AD is a type for the Jewish nation, but for us, brothers and sisters, the event is the National Sunday Law. What the Jews had to do by 34 AD, Seventh-day Adventists have to do by the passing of the National Sunday Law. So what do we have to do by the passing of the National Sunday Law? We have to finish the transgression. We have to make an end of sin. We have to make reconciliation for iniquity. We have to bring in everlasting righteousness. We have to seal up the vision and prophecy. We have to anoint the most holy. We have to accept Jesus for who he is. We have to accept that righteousness by faith that will empower us to have victory over sin. Are you with me, saints? But here's the key. It has to be accomplished by the passing of the National Sunday Law. That means, brothers and sisters, that you and I have to overcome sin by the passing of the National Sunday Law. Not when Jesus comes the second time. We have to overcome sin by the passing of the National Sunday Law. Look at this thing. Those are parallels. Now, if 34 AD lines up with the National Sunday Law, we're going to find out what does 31 AD line up with and what does 27 AD line up with. Now, probation closed for the Jews when? In 34 AD. Probation closes for us at the National Sunday Law. Now, I have a book back there that will be made available tomorrow evening it's called The Close of Probation for Seventh-day Adventists, a little booklet that I put together. Because we don't understand that. If you ask our theologians when does probation close for us, they say, don't close it. Sunday Law has nothing whatsoever to do with the close of probation. What happens at the National Sunday Law? What's going to have to happen? What's going to happen? When the Sunday Law, what is the mark of the beast? Sunday worship. If anyone understanding the truth will give up the Sabbath and keep Sunday, they receive a mark of the beast. If you receive the mark of the beast, can you be saved? So, brothers and sisters, our decision at the National Sunday Law will determine whether we receive the mark of the beast or the seal of God. The decision, do you understand what I'm saying here? It's your decision. And we're told that the majority of us, because we have not had that divine connection with Christ, will give up and keep Sunday. We think if we come to church and listen to the pastor and pay tithe, we're going to heaven. That's what we think, saints. You're going to have a divine connection with Christ. The majority, and what we're going to find out as we continue, we're going to find out that Satan has flooded our church with tares. The church has been flooded with tares. And you see people doing things that are not Adventists. The reason that they're doing it because they're not Adventists. Ellen G. White calls them a new party of professed believers. They're not Adventists. Evangelism, page 362, says they're not Adventists. But the majority of them are tares. The majority of the people in it, look, now I'm saying some hard things. I'm going to back up all of it. But I'm telling you this because I want you to leave here with knowledge in your head. The majority of the people in the Seventh-day Adventist Church today, down here in 2007, are tares. Anybody, you cannot be a Seventh-day Adventist and not believe in the spirit of prophecy. You cannot. You're not a Seventh-day Adventist. You don't believe in the spirit of prophecy. Impossible. Impossible. You cannot be. Look, brothers and sisters. When people will stand in the pulpit and berate and make fun of the spirit of prophecy and say things that undermine it, that's a person that's standing in the pulpit with the forced torch, with the hellish torch of false prophecy. You got to understand this today. Don't leave the church. But I must help you by the word of God. I got to help you understand what's going on. You can't be blindsided anymore. You have a work to do for God. And you got to do this work, brothers and sisters. Do we understand that this evening? Saints. You see that NSL up there? That's the National Sunday Law. The prophet says not one of us will ever receive the seal of God while our characters have one spot of stain upon them. It is left of us to remedy the defects in our characters, to cleanse the soul temple of every defilement, and then the latter rain will fall upon us as the early rain fell upon the disciples on the day of Pentecost. See, saints, at the National Sunday Law, the shaking will be completed in God's church.